Hi viewers, I am Abhishek Upadhyay. First of all, I would like to tell something about my experience. I have more than 12 years of experience of stock market. Now, today we are going to talk about what kind of market we have seen today. Today was the weekly expiry, as everybody knows, and today we have always expect that the kind of volatility would be persist in the market, and exactly what happens. We had already seen yesterday that the Nifty and Bank Nifty, both the indices seems to be in bearish sentiment, and exactly what happens. 18,150 seems to be an important short-term resistance as far as Nifty spot is concerned. As far as the downside support is concerned for Nifty spot, that seems to be around 17,600 to 17,650 level. Those are the levels also been verified by derivative data. Now let's talk about Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty seems to be the more bearish than Nifty, and today exactly what happens. 13,760 to 13,760 seems to be an important support for Bank Nifty spot, and on upside 38,500 seems to be in a supply zone, that the kind of resistance which is offering. Overall, now let's talk about some of the key sectorial indices which the short-term traders need to be focused on. As far as the bullish side is concerned, we had already talked about yesterday about the Nifty Auto Index, and still we are having the same kind of opinion that the Nifty Auto Index might be very strong in few weeks or so. So one can expect that the 12,100 and 12,150 seems to be an important resistance zone, and once it will breach those levels, we might expect further upside. Second, the sectorial indices seems to be strong is the Nifty Reality is still maintaining those kind of higher levels, so one might expect some further upside potential in Nifty Reality. And the third sectorial indices which seems to be the strong, that is Nifty IT. As far as on the downside is concerned, some of the sectorial indices which is now looking bearish. The first is the Nifty Metal. As far as the Nifty Metal is concerned, we have seen the kind of downside, some of the key counters of Nifty Metal like JSW Steel, Tata Steel and Hindalco. And further, we are expecting that the 5200 to 5250 seems to be a critical level for Nifty Metal indices. Anything breaching those levels and sustaining below it, one might expect further downside in all those steel and metal counters. Second sector which is looking bearish is the Nifty Pharma. It's trading around the very crucial support zone of 13,200 to 13,400. Any closing below those kind of important support level, one might expect the trend reversal and can see further downside in Nifty Pharma. Now let's talk about some of the key stories of the key news which really had dominated today market. The first news which came in the we know that the company major shareholder, one of the Japanese company, seems to have more stock in that company, and that's really turned out to be a positive development for the company. Today it really shot up to the 10 to 12% as far as the intra-trade is concerned. Second, the quality development that what we have seen in the ITC, as everybody knows that there might be a news of demerger, so that really would be a extraordinary value locking kind of scenario. Now let's talk about some of the key financial US data. Today, the natural gas storage is going to be disclosed by the US Financial Department, and the second thing is the important data which seems to be the fully fed manufacturing number, because these numbers might indicate what kind of manufacturing activities are taking place. Now let's talk about the US dollar index and the US Treasury bond yield, both still indicating that there might be some weakness, further weakness for the US market is concerned, and the same effect would be reciprocate in Indian equity market also. Some of the key counter stock to watch for upside is, yesterday we had talked about Apollo Hospital, and we are still maintaining that the opinion that the Apollo Hospital is still maintaining those kind of high level, and one might expect some further upside from the current level as far as the Apollo Hospital is concerned. Second counter which is looking strong on charts is the State Bank of India. State Bank of India continuously holding the level of 500 level, and one might expect the further upside from those current levels. Third is again the banking counter, which is ICICI Bank. We have seen the kind of sharp surge in that company after the quarterly result declaration, and now it has filled the gap somewhere around level of 750 to 765 level. I am expecting that it might bounce from those kind of important level, and one might expect further upside as far as the ICICI Bank is concerned. As far as on bearish side, one might see the bearish opportunity in some of the steel and metal counter, particularly in JSW Steel, Tata Steel and Hindalco. Though Tata Steel has already witnessed a sharp downside moves, so one might see further kind of downside in JSW Steel, Tata Steel and Hindalco. So that is all as far as the market is concerned. These kind of updates